Several people who I spoke with staying at the Circus Circus hotel and casino tell me that they want change and they hope that this hotel becomes more modernized. But everyone who I spoke with all agree on one point, that they want this iconic kid-friendly hotel to stay.
All right, we gotta talk about Circus Circus. While a lot of strip resorts are quietly struggling right now, softer casino revenue, weaker midweek bookings, guests spending less on food and drinks, one place is just chugging along like nothing's wrong. And it's probably not the one you'd expect. Circus Circus Las Vegas is not flashy. It is not trendy. It is definitely not winning awards for luxury. But financially, it is in a stronger position than a lot of newer, shinier resorts. And once you understand how it operates, it actually makes perfect sense. So let's talk about why Circus Circus is doing better than people think. Circus Circus opened back in 1968, created by Jay Sarno. At this time, Las Vegas casinos were strictly adult spaces. This place was controversial from day one because it welcomed families and kids right onto the strip. That was unheard of back then. From the start, the model was simple: affordable rooms, lots of entertainment, and attractions that kept people on property. Over the years, it picked up a reputation for being old, dated, even a little rough around the edges. And yes, it is older, no one's pretending otherwise. But here's the thing, it's not falling apart and it's very affordable, especially in 2025. One of the biggest draws is still the live circus acts. Trapeze artists, acrobats, jugglers, clowns, performing multiple times a day right inside the casino. You can stand there, grab a drink, and watch for free. That's something you simply do not get anywhere else on the strip anymore. It's nostalgic, it's unique, and it costs the guest nothing. In my last video, I talked about the general consensus that visitors are tired of being nickel and dimed for everything in Vegas. Circus Circus is a good solution to that. Then there's the Adventure Dome, a 5-acre indoor amusement park with rides for kids, teens, and even adults. It's the only indoor amusement park in Las Vegas. Add to that the Carnival Midway with over 200 arcade and skill games, where people are constantly feeding in cash trying to win prizes. That money adds up fast. Circus Circus also has a steakhouse that consistently gets solid reviews, which surprises a lot of people. And Slots of Fun next door was remodeled to bring back cheap food, cheap drinks, and even coin-operated slot machines. Yes, real coins. That's intentional, and I'll explain why in a second. Here's something most people don't realize. Circus Circus is consistently profitable. Year after year, it stays in the black. They're not dumping hundreds of millions into constant renovations. They're not chasing trends. Recently, they freshened up the exterior, added a few new attractions, including the SpongeBob ride, which is actually fun, and that was it. That's the strategy. Stay stable, keep costs low, keep rooms full. Circus Circus doesn't try to compete with luxury resorts. It doesn't chase high rollers or influencers. It runs on volume, value, and low operating costs. Rooms are priced to stay full all year. Food is priced so people actually buy it. Gaming is designed for time on device, not massive jackpot wins. That's a completely different approach than resorts relying on $450 rooms, $25 cocktails, and big spenders who now show up less often. When rooms are full, you get foot traffic. Foot traffic leads to steady spending across food, drinks, slots, games, and attractions. That creates predictable revenue, which casinos love, especially in uncertain markets like this one. Circus Circus attracts casual gamblers, people who play smaller amounts but stay longer. Lower denomination slots, older style machines, and coin-operated games slow play just enough to extend time. Players feel like they are getting value. From the casino's perspective, that's exactly what you want. Now here's a big move that flew under the radar. Circus Circus announced it will open a new bingo hall in 2026. This will be the first true bingo hall on the Strip since the Riviera closed in 2015. According to reports, the bingo hall will open on the promenade level in mid-February. 6 sessions a day, classic paper cards and daubers, Affordable food like hot dogs and nachos, buy-ins ranging from $50 up to $1,500, paid in cash. Bingo players are loyal. They're repeat visitors. They come back weekly, sometimes daily, and they do not just play bingo. They eat, drink, and stay on property. From a financial standpoint, bingo floors are cheap to operate and generate steady margins. This is not nostalgia. It's a low-risk revenue stream. Food and beverage is another big part of the picture. Circus Circus keeps prices low on purpose. Affordable drinks mean people do not leave the property. Affordable food means families eat on site instead of walking elsewhere. High volume makes up for lower margins. Right now, a lot of guests are cutting back. Resorts that price themselves out are seeing fewer transactions. Circus Circus benefits because people feel comfortable spending there. They stay longer, and they spend more overall. Another reason Circus Circus stays steady is diversification. It's not dependent on one income stream. You have the casino, hotel, adventure dome, midway games, arcade, RV park, budget retail, and food outlets. Families may not gamble like high rollers, but they spend consistently. That spreads risk and keeps cash flow steady even when gaming revenue dips elsewhere. The age of the property actually works in its favor. There's no constant reinvestment cycle, no expensive rebrands, no celebrity restaurant deals. Maintenance costs are predictable. Staffing is stable. When other resorts are forced to spend big just to stay competitive, Circus Circus stays in its lane. Now let's talk about the sale, because this is where people get confused. Circus Circus is not being sold because it's failing. It's being discussed because the land is extremely valuable. The property sits on over 100 acres on the North Strip, one of the largest remaining parcels. According to a Forbes report, owner Phil Ruffin believes the resort and surrounding festival grounds could be worth up to $5 billion. Ruffin has said he has been approached by potential buyers, though he has not named anyone. The business itself works. The real question is whether a future buyer sees more value in keeping it running or redeveloping the land long term. Realistically, there are three outcomes. 1. New ownership keeps Circus Circus mostly the same with small updates. 2. A phased redevelopment while parts stay open. 3. A long-term land hold where Circus Circus continues operating until redevelopment makes sense. What is unlikely is a sudden shutdown. It generates too much steady cash for that. Circus Circus succeeds because it understands the current Vegas market. People are more price sensitive. They want value. They want entertainment without pressure. Circus Circus delivers that, not because it is trendy or luxurious, but because it's practical. So here's my question for you. What do you think of Circus Circus? Do you think it's positioned to succeed long term? Have you stayed? Let me know what you think, and if you want more Vegas content, be sure to hit subscribe.